Okay, let's do this thing. I had not intended to be here this morning, but seems to be a running theme, so oh well. When life gives you lemons, make big swords. Right, hopefully that's all checked out. Ignore the glove, it's because my knuckles keep splitting, so I'm trying to, you know, not have that be a thing. So, yesterday, where I left off, I'd gone to print some things. I have those things. So, plan is to cut. So pixelated and sketch, it's ridiculous. The plan is to cut around these, tape them together, and then I have a couple of bamboo canes, just gardening canes. Once I know how long this is, I'll lash these together, tape that on top of that, just to get an idea of how big it is in relation to my me. So, cool. All right. I've considered using my nice knife to cut around all of this. I don't want to. It's too nice. I'm going to use my crummy scissors instead, and see how I get on with that. But yeah, that's all this is going to be for a while. So settle in, I guess. This I'm worried about less because this was at an angle anyway. So whatevs. I think it's about that-ish. It's just a rough idea anyway, so I'm not particularly bothered. Ish. Good enough. What I should have done is organized a bag of some descript for recycling. Probably something kicking about. Or let me have a look. So I don't just chuck away paper. Do I just whack it into a tote bag for now? I don't see a problem with that. I can deal with it later. There. Hyper Japan tote bag. Seems fitting. Sure, let's hang it off of whatever this is. Big old chisel. Should be fine. Sweet. Right. That's one kind of... I need to get over myself, because nothing's going to be particularly even. Doesn't need to be. Get hold of yourself. Keep trying to check to make sure the Kyo's focusing. Keeps kind of dipping in and out. Oh well. Right. It's not an awful lot to talk about with this, if I'm honest. It's just touching the things. I am going to leave the big black line there, frame of reference, when I'm lining the other bits up. This is one of those things that when I end up kind of organizing the VODs better, this will just be a time lapse. I can't imagine there's going to be an awful lot else to add to this, if I'm honest. Where does that go? Sort of there-ish. I had to guess. Whole heap guess. because this thing is a mess. But oh well. Roughly. Good enough, good enough. Something I'm super not accustomed to is getting through this stuff quickly. I tend to spend a disproportionate amount of time working on these things. So I'm trying to learn to, like, distribute my care and attention appropriately, rather than, you know, spend a bunch of time meticulously cutting something out that I'm not going to be using in the final thing anyway. Now this, I think, what I was going to try and do was that, so that I could get a rough idea for where the guard for the sword actually was. And when I say rough, I mean rough. It's because the arm is in the way in the picture. This should give me a slightly better idea, albeit very, very slight. Okay. Yeah. Probably not super accurate. But again, need to get over myself, it doesn't matter. Not at this stage. This is just so I know whether I've got the scaling right or not. Because it looks pretty good. But also, I might sling it all together and go, I am not as tall as I wished I was. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. Those two go together. I'll try and set them off to one side in pairs, I think. So I know what's being put together with what. Because it's going to get hard to keep track. So, you know. I got two in one here. I feel like I do. Yeah, I do. At least I realized. Come on, hands, please. Please work. It's not remotely frustrating. Okay, alright. Actually, I got away with that. Somehow. Got away with that. Okay. See, I was originally planning, when it came to, like, printing out the actual proper template that I'll be using for making the thing, the original intent was to kind of draw around it all and make sort of my own vector properly in GIMP, and then print it out in a similar way that I have done here. But then I realized that the cable for my graphics tablet is shot to shit. So I need to get a new cable. Because I don't know how it happened, but it is not safe to use. I think it just got caught under something at some point, and then the casing for the wire just got ripped to shreds. So that's on my to-do list. Because I'm going to need it when I actually come to doing this side of things properly. Once I've settled on the scale and I've settled on the design, yada yada, I want to be able to make everything super even. And that's the best way of doing it. Okay, those go together. There should be another 2. Yeah. I quite enjoy this side of things. Because at the minute, it's like, there's no pressure. Like, my expectations are appropriate, you know? I'll leave that for now. I'm gonna need that to line things up anyway. Kinda hard to see where that goes, but I think it actually goes here. Doesn't matter, I'm doing this for scale, it doesn't matter. Move on. Okay. I keep checking the focus from the camera intermittently. So if it goes, I apologize. I am trying. I kinda don't want to get rid of that though, so I'm just gonna do that. And that's another pair. We're getting there. Yeah, then we just got the tip. Okay. Epic. And then if this ends up too big or too small, I can just adjust what I've already made in WPS. And it's no biggie, particularly. Of course, it helped my hands worked. But, well. Circulation and cold weather doesn't make for functional fingers. Oh well. Come on. I'm surprised that these scissors are actually cutting as well as they are after I use them to hack away at plaster casts, as evidenced by the remains. It seems fine. At least it's fine enough for this, so it's fine. Good enough. Okay. Sorry to finish that shelf as well. Whatever. Details, details. I had tape out here somewhere. Where did I leave it? It's here. Okay. It wasn't exactly where I remembered it being, so it was invisible. That's how that works. Okay. Let's start by looking at this. So let's say I take this off of here, like that. No, I will want to line these up. And what's going to be easier? Taking the edge off that, I think. So, I should then be able to see the black line from the back. Try and line it up at the front as well. Maybe I can cheese this. Oh, I can 100% cheese this. Okay, okay. Fine. Everything's fine. Where do I want to start it from? Probably down here somewhere, right? Yeah. Do that. How on earth are there fingerprints? I'm doing it with the glove. Okay. That's that, and then from there, do it flat. Flat and along the back. Okay. Fine. Getting stuck to the glove. I should have foreseen this. I did not. Okay, that's that. That. Just that. Not quite, but I don't care. Not at this stage. Right, learn from your mistakes. Abandon the glove. Don't get too OCD with it. There's no point. Doesn't matter. Just roll with it, please. Alright, good enough. That's that bit. I know I just told myself not to be like this, however. Kinda, sorta want to fix this at least a little bit. So I knew this wasn't going to line up anyway. But doesn't mean it isn't bothering me. Right. Gotcha. Then should be these. And if I'm doing the line, like, I don't know. It must be like this then. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because the middle is missing. Yeah, of course it is. Realistically, I could have kept the middle. Like, it wouldn't have mattered. There'll be a big old stick running down the middle anyway. That's fine. Keep going back to, you live and learn, but I absolutely don't learn. Like, I needed to have more of an overlap for this. Realistically, that's fine. And tape it along the back. Yeah, who cares? Certainly not me. Not at this stage, anyway. Or this is already massive. Good grief. Okay, hang on. Let me get a drink. And we're alright. Back to this. Now, do I get rid of that little middle bit while I can see it? If I've done the rest, then I may as well, right? Or do I do this bit first and then do that? Yeah, maybe. Alright. Get rid of this. At least semi-carefully. Then, this goes on here. Try and line the pixels up, I guess. That goes there. And those on the back. Cool. Okay. This is absurd. This already looks way too big. But it needs to be massive, so, you know, I'm not helping myself with this right now. Good enough. There's that. We'll call it about that. That is good enough. Enough. Okay. That's not affecting. Okay, let me stick some tape across here because that's gonna need it. Okay. Fine. Fine. That's ridiculous. Good grief. Okay, awesome. I'm enjoying this far too much. Get rid of that. Alright, I'm gonna have to wing it a little bit at this point, because obviously it doesn't match up. Whatever. It was a pixelated mess to begin with. It was never gonna work out super well. But I'm unfazed, realistically. So this must be here. Yes, okay. Got it. Right, this is the thinner edge, so I'm inclined to say this will be the bit that I take off. Because we need an overlap. I'll do the same with this bit. With my hands that are selectively functional. Which is another good reason to have not used the box cutter, to be honest. This bit then needs to sit on here. I need to line it up that tiny little pip from the black line. Yeah. Fine. Then, same with this bit. But to do that, I need to then line these up. Which takes me back to cheating and using the softbox as a light box. It's not cheating. It's hacks. It's fine. Okay. So, I want to have this bit lined up with this. So that'll be about there. That. That's pretty okay. Done. And you do that. You stay here. Like that. Like that. Okay. So just need to then take this bit onto here. Again, it's not all going to line up perfectly. I don't care. It's just a scale thing. But it would have been nice if it had lined up at all. So, oh well. What do I do here? Because it wants to do that. And I refuse. It should really be like that. But also, does it matter that much? What if I'm just a big brain about this? And I do that there, because that's where it should be. Then fine. And if that's where there's a problem, I can just do this. You'll just have to bear with it, because, again, this is for scale. I'm not that bothered. If it serves its purpose, that's all I'd really care about for now. And it's just something I'll have to be mindful of when I'm doing this for realsies. Okay. That up out the way. Attempt to. Okay, so yeah, these are then the bigger edges, so I'll take these ones off. Like that. Deal with that in a minute. Hands are going purple. Sure, that's fine. Good enough. Okay. So, do I learn from my last mistakes and line these up as a priority rather than going through the middle? Probably. It's probably what I do with that. Oh, well, yeah, because I can't anyway. Fine. Fine. All fine. Seems pretty okay. Right. Enough. Do the same this side. Just see where it happens to meet. That's not super far out, in fairness. I'm not that bothered. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. And in fairness, it's going to be a lot easier to line this up with a proper vector, because this was always going to be a bit of a weird mess. But in terms of scale, actually, it's looking pretty correct, which is terrifying because this is massive. Whack one of these on the back. Coolio. Do the same with these, only a little bit. And there. Or then this can sit where it sits, I don't care. It's good enough, serves a purpose. Try and keep it flat, I guess. Alright. Then, this bit. So I can take this edge off. Where did I put the scissors? Okay, it's fine. They were under something, so they were invisible. That's how that works. Alright. I'll do this from the one that's higher up, just to give myself more room. Alright. And as far as the black line, about that-ish. Am I cool with that? I'm cool enough with that. Alright. Cool with that. Do the same on the back. Okay. And in theory, this is ridiculous. Okay. Alright, it's fine. It's fine. So I have canes I intend to use them. So, I have this. I know how to sort that out as well, because that's going to annoy me. Bear with. Enough. Alright. So, what do I need to faff with as far as canes? So, I have one there. Oh, I only did a tiny bit on the end. So actually, maybe I can get away with just doing the one and ignoring a little bit. I'm only doing this for the sake of making it solid. I should be sensible. Should be sensible. So, if I had the space on the desk, I could do that up there. I don't, though. So, let's say I take it slightly past, because does it really matter? Objectively not. Okay. Yeah, I'll do it notch to notch. That seems fine. Come on. Ugh. Fine. You just tape it for now. I created a little holder for all my masking tape down here literally this morning as I was setting everything up. So I'm reasonably pleased with it. I tend to have a lot of random stuff kicking about that I can use to make other things. Got a big old box full of stuff. Everyone should have a stuff box. I swear by it. Right, that's good enough for that. Then I'm going to do another bit. Try and keep everything reasonably even. Okay, that's fine. So let's do another one here. Enough. Do another bit. Probably about here. Okay. Right. I now have a slightly bigger stick. As far as getting that onto this. I do that at the very end. That like that. It would be much easier if I could lay this down flat. How do I make the space for that? Can I make the space for that? Potentially not. Potentially not. Might just have to do this on the floor, to be honest. Shockingly, I hadn't planned ahead. Who knew? Now, do I tape this? Yeah. I don't think masking tape is going to be robust enough to keep this where it needs to be. Okay. If I whack that there, this up here, You'll just have to bear with me while I deal with all of this. I will be as quick as I can. I also need to be reasonably thorough with it, or it just won't stay. How's everyone else's morning going? An interesting way to spend your 3 a.m. Pretty much bang on. Let's go here. Oh, this should be fine. This should work fine. This makes sense. Let's do one up here. Yeah. Another one down here. Cool. Right, nearly there, in fairness. Then we're looking at moment of truth stuff. Pretty cool. Pretty epic. Trying not to be too excited about this, but also it's kind of part of the thing. Like I objectively can't help it. Alright. It's fine. I'm just looking at this thing on the floor and I'm unreasonably excited by these bamboo canes and bits of paper. Alright. That's not gonna stay out. Do I have any smaller sticks that I could put there just so I can see what I'm doing with this? Probably. Probably do. There are pencils. Okay. I can tape some pencils on here. It's fine. Are they going to be too long? Hope not. Same size. Yeah, they're too long. Annoying. There must be other things lying around. Other pencils, but none of them are short enough, I don't think. Nails are going to be too heavy, surely. What's this? Cable tie? Cable ties. Okay, I know there are more of these in here. And not the same stiff ones. That just kind of works unreasonably well. Is there anything similar in here, though? Yeah, I can do that. Okay, yeah, I can make this work. I can make this work. Everything's fine. Hook those under that cane. And then just tape it. Awesome. Do it like this. Alright. Yep, huge. I can make this work. I can absolutely make this work. Right, tape, come here. Hoping that then stops that flopping around so much. a point, yeah. Do I have others? Just another couple. Yeah, okay. So if I do one down here, one down there, should work. Didn't realize I was gonna need a floor cam. But in hindsight, of course I would. At least I know now. Alright. Moment of truth. I have a big paper sword. I'm very excited. Okay. That's disgustingly cool. Can I I don't know, can I stand further back? Just to get a real idea of the scale of this. It's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It's also not exactly my height, which is what I was going for. It's quite a bit shorter than me. So now I'm wondering, does that mean it's too small? But also, it's already pretty massive. So I'm wondering whether that matters? I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Let me get up my my little research document. This one? Nope. This one. Yes. So dumb. Okay. Let me just check. Check references. Okay. So if it looks like that against his back, it comes down to what? At an angle down to his fingertips. Got it. So, with that in mind, I were to try really hard to see in the viewfinder exactly where this sits. See, this is the part where you need a mirror, and the only mirror I have out here is a small one. So I'm actually going to BRB, go look in a mirror, and then come back. So bear with me. I will return. Oh no. It's perfect. Oh god. Alright. So I went indoors, took some pictures with the big sword. It's too good. Ah, it's disgusting how good this is. Okay, but I now have the right scale. I've checked it. Everything looks the way it should. Um, and I have this thing now, which is pretty cool. Where can I leave this? Probably around here somewhere. I just got a shelf. Here. Let's move these. Dealing with those later. Let's just that's that's so cool. Okay. Alright. I live for this shit. Okay. So now I know how big it's gonna end up being. I know how big the space is that I've got to work on for designing the fancy bits on like the hilt and the guard, etc. That's very cool. That is very cool. All right. So what I think I'm gonna do now is um. Oh, okay. Almost. So I'll tell you what. Let's cheese something here. Go on here. So I'm back on my research document, and I am looking at the references that I've got for the sword. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the basic references that I have, just the sword, and I'm going to crop it down so I'm only getting the guard section. Come on, let me do the thing. Enough. Ah, trackpad. Okay, right. Bear with. Uh, look, I made the same error as last time. I left my mouse with my PC. I wasn't planning to do much PC stuff today. It was all going to be practical. So I am pleading for at least some leniency this time. Last time, yeah, I was an idiot. This time, I was not really planning to do much as far as PC related shenanigans. Pretty okay. Okay. So from here, I want to try and get this to be the same size as this. So what I've done, because I can't be bothered to switch views because there's no point because I'll be drawing stuff anyway, I've literally just cropped out this section from one of my references, and I am going to try and scale it to be as big as this sheet of paper, which it accidentally is. Awesome. Then I'm going to crank up the brightness on my laptop, temporarily go dark, because I'm going to need to, and then use this as a light box. Can I make you any brighter? Do that. There we go. All right. That's what I need. Good, good, good. Awesome. Okay. Nice. So I'm only looking to use this to get the shape roughly drawn out. All I really need this for. Yeah, alright, fine. Fine. Okay. So what I'm going to do is... It's what? How am I going to play this? Like that, I guess. Yeah. So if I take off... Well... Take off this top bit for sure. I'll get rid of this. Where'd the scissors? There they are. Alright, get rid of this. Cool. Whack that in there for now. Yeah, that should fit everything in. I need it to. So then, I'm going to fold this in half. Like that. And I'm going to draw half of the thing on here. So, use slideshow, turn this off, whack that on there. I turn this one off as well. Shouldn't need to turn off the main light. Nah, not for this. That's fine. Okay. And keep this reasonably straight. Reasonably. Okay. Then have a pencil. No, about there. No. And where do I want to take this? Let's do that line. Line along there. I'll get a ruler and all of this in a minute. This is just for the sake of getting something down. And that. That then gives me half of the thing. Right. Lights, cameras, action. Back in the room. Nice. Right. Coolio. So, I now have... Oh, no, the camera's doing that thing again. Right, hang on. Let me turn that off. That fix it? Kinda. You see that? No. No, okay. Fine. I'm gonna go over it in pen anyway, then you'll definitely see it. But, for the sake of argument, I will show what I was doing. How well is that viewed? That's pretty okay. Alright, so, for the sake of argument, this is all I did. So, I took this reference pic, scaled it until this was the same size-ish as the big thing that I made just now, and then whacked it on slideshow and just traced it. That's it. Up the brightness, up the contrast, just make it so that the main shape is more visible. And that was all. That was all I did. That, yeah, about that. Yeah, it seems fine. Okay, yeah, that's all I did. So now I'm going to grab a ruler. enough. And try and get this to be actually vaguely straight. And I'm going to go over this with a pen so that it's fairly visible. And also I prefer drawing in pen, a habit I picked up a long time ago. I think it's because when you're in school, your art teacher's always like, oh, you never draw in pen because you can't rub it out if you make a mistake. Just don't screw up. It's fine. I am, of course, being facetious. I want to clarify. I'm not. I don't think I'm that cool. And I never will. Right. Then that. Now the question is that supposed to be... No, it is at an angle. Hey. Yeah, fair enough. About that. This, however, did seem to be pretty straight in relation to that. So realistically, the mat I'm working on has grids on it anyway, so I may as well use them. So if I line that edge up, or then, in theory, should be a case of trying to keep that looking pretty straight, and that should be about right. Epic. And then the same dealio for this. That's all in line with that. In theory, if I were to do that against that, that would then be straight. Let's do it in relation to that. Why not? About there, apparently. Then that doesn't look right. Ah, who am I kidding? I don't care. I don't care. I should, but I don't. Right. That will then give me, in theory, the thing that I need. Now, if I wanted to be really cool, I'd go and get the guillotine and do this properly. I don't care. I don't care. It's fine. This is a little template so I can plan out how I'm gonna design stuff. Like this bothers me not. In fairness, I could be kind of sensible with this. Yeah, why not? Let's be kind of sensible with this. So, what on earth is stuck on the back of this? Oh, I know what that is. Okay. It's fine. Right. Again, back to being vaguely sensible. Let's do this. Then if I'm going to do that, I kind of want to do it... Yeah. The direction. But then... Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm thinking. Don't worry. Don't worry. Everything's fine. I want to make sure that the direction I'm running the blade in is from the crease, so I'm not, like, crumpling any of the paper as I go. It shouldn't crumple, because I keep this blade pretty sharp. But also, I need to be vaguely careful. Done it? Maybe not. A couple of passes. There we go. Ah, see, that's what I was afraid of. A crumple. Right. Ugh. Can't have nice things. Right. That's fine. It's fine. I will take this, do another bit, do it again. Ugh. Whatever. Whatever. Band. Banned from having nice things. Right. More paper than I guess. So it needs to be what? Yeah, the full width of the thing. Okay. Full width of the thing, which means I'll be folding it along here. Let's line the things up. Okay. How much of this am I not going to need? Whole bunch, apparently. Now, do I learn from my mistakes, or do I try and make the same one? I think I'm going to choose to learn. Shocker. Right. Good enough. Good enough. Right. In fairness, this is just a kind of a useful thing to have anyway. I'm not super bothered. This should cut fine. This should cut fine. Should have cut... Right, okay. So it doesn't. It doesn't. It's a lie. Everything is a lie. I'm being lied to. Fine. Fine. Banned. I get it. I understand. I'm listening. You have my attention. In fairness, I don't remember what I used that blade for last. It might have been something really uncool. Come on. Right, good enough. Good enough. I have a thing. Good enough. Right. So then I want to do it this way. When I do it, that I also need to cut away. Enough. This I can put in here. Okay. That. I tried to do this properly, and I was clearly informed that I was not allowed. So scissors it is. Straight lines will come later when I actually make the thing. So whatever. Whatever. Right. Let me just give myself one of these so I know what I'm doing with my life. Sewing things comes in handy. I've got this right way round. I do. So this is slightly bigger. But I can't say I care a whole bunch. All I'm doing with this. Screw it. Who am I kidding? It's back to the hole. I don't need to be that accurate with it, but I'm gonna be, because... Ugh. That's that. That's that. And if I wanted to be really smart, I'd stick a pin through there. I don't think I have one. Oh, well. I will just trace it out after the fact. It's fine. That. That. Fine. This along here. There. Come down a little bit. Yeah. Fine. Then that to there. Fine. And as far as that, lightbox things, I can line everything else up. At least a little bit. It'll be about okay. That's all I need. Good enough. Enough. Alright. Let's learn from last time and not do thing. Also gonna end up with ink everywhere. Fine. I'll just have to wipe the end of the pen off as I go. Easy peasy. Alright. Cut into this. Now, let me be smart. Because if this separates as I'm cutting, it's not going to be correct. So, I am going to do this. Keep everything where it should be. There's nothing more annoying than when it separates. Right, that's that. Do that along there. This here. Get rid of that. Then do the same for this. That kind of worked. Never going to be super accurate. Doesn't need to be. This is cope. This is, I'm not going to lie to you, this is absolutely cope. Okay. So, now I have a thing. Let me reinstate those pegs. Otherwise, they will never go back when they're supposed to. Okay. Cool. Right. I have a thing now. What's the time? Okay. It's fine. It's not even 4 yet. Everything's fine. I've got time. Right. I have a thing. Yes. Good. This is the thing. So, in theory, I should then be able to whack this on the back, do more lightbox things, get a rough idea where everything sits. Come on. Okay. Without those pegs that I just put back, they'd probably help. Okay. I feel like streaming my madness, kind of just exposing myself for being a bit of a fraud. I don't know, maybe I'm deep in it, but like, looking at the finished articles, it's, you know, you kind of assume that everything that went into it was like super meticulous and well thought out. No, I'm making it up as I go along. I am not a professional, nor will I ever be. I wouldn't want to be honest. It's like, okay, yeah, I will consistently mess stuff up, but I enjoy that. I'm a big fan of screwing things up because I'm constantly testing things. And I'm not going to hold it against myself if whatever I'm testing doesn't work out the way I intended. Because at least I tried. And then it's just a case of, okay, alright, well, back to the drawing board. And nothing ventured, nothing gained. Right. Now I have the thing. And in theory, right, that's smaller than I thought it would be, but do I care? I mean, yeah, I do. But I wasn't going to know until I tested it. So I'm not super butthurt about that, to be honest. I lined that up the middle. Yeah, that is considerably smaller. Okay, but it's how much smaller? If I go back to my PowerPoint and I make this a little bit bigger, what does that look like in relation to this? Actually, potentially about right. Let's say I was vaguely intelligent about it this time. So that's what? Roughly 31? Yeah, that's 30. So this now is actually slightly too big. Interesting. Shrink it down a tiny bit, try that again. So if I know that I'm aiming for roughly 30, still too big. Scale it down again. This is what I should have done to begin with. That's what I mean. I wouldn't know unless I screwed it up, which I did. Then I always end up having the argument with myself like, oh, you know, it's probably fine. I don't need to be that accurate. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You absolutely do. That's just a tiny bit over the 30. Does that matter? That is a teensy tiny bit over. That is more over than that, so come on. Trackpad, don't do this to me. Come on. Right. That's about right, actually. Okay. Take... is this take 2 or take 3, technically? I'm going to call it take 2, because this was... I was going to say it wasn't my fault, but it was, because I said it was going to happen. And then I did it anyway. But, okay. Now, I know I can take more paper. So, those, too small, fine. Fold this in half. Do exactly the same thing. Erase the thing off my screen. And go again. Let's still do that in half. If I'm going to cut it anyway. I just leave it. Just leave it, who cares? It's fine. Okay. So, I will do exactly the same thing as last time. I will turn off the lights, and I will trace the thing. This time, I'm gonna trace it in pen straight away, so I can actually see what I'm doing with my life. As long as it's not like a marker or anything, it's fine. Probably. Probably fine. Whack that down there. Up there. Trying to get that to look vaguely straight. So that and that. Do it there. Then going from... technically I should go from the inner anyway, so out there, 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 go there, that, and then from here, do that, that, and then because I'll feel better about my life, do it, just gonna do that. Right. Things and stuff. Lights. Back. Okay. Get rid of that. And see if I can tell what's actually going on. Again, can you... Okay. It's easier to see than before. Fair enough. But pen, I guess. Right. What I think I'll do this time is actually... I think I would like to trace this in marker. Yeah. I think if I trace it in marker, then when I go to draw on top of it, it's going to be very obvious what is the part of the original template and what is some nonsense I've added after the fact. Now, what is going to be the most sensible way of approaching this? Let's just wing it. That's what I say. As long as it looks vaguely straight. That's that. Why did I put the cap back on? It's a force of habit. I use Sharpies a fair bit at work, and I'm so used to just sheathing them immediately afterwards. And the nice thing with Sharpies as well is that they shouldn't, I mean, I'll get them all over my fingers because they stay on the edge, but they shouldn't smudge like Biro does. I'll try and get this vaguely accurate. So I know it's, yeah, that looks good. Okay. So it doesn't follow the same line as this one. Flares. That seems pretty okay. Then this one. Yeah, that looks alright. Okay. I now have a thing. Again. And just to double check before I go any further, it is not substantially different to this. So, I measured it. It should be better That looks about right. So why is that one so different? I don't know what I did here to make that so much smaller then. It's not. Okay, now I'm confused. Why? Why is that so different? Because that is so much smaller. Is it just the angle? Why? I think it's the angle. I think that's all this is. It's because I'm taking the angle from something else. If I'm about to draw something that is exactly the same as what I've done before, it looks exactly the same. Cool. Out of interest. Because I measured it this time, okay? But I'd also like to point out that I eyeballed it the first time and apparently got it exactly right, so I'd like to give myself props on that. Yeah, okay, so there's the issue, is that a sheet of paper isn't actually quite big enough. Which begs the question, what do I do about that? Is it... Ah. Okay, hang on. Hang on. I may be able to do something with this. Let's say, hypothetically... How am I going to make that work, though? I don't think I am. No. Does it have to be like that? Hmm. Basically, I should be able to fit that way. Basically. So I'm wondering whether I just continue this line on slightly till... Because in terms of actual scaling, it's pretty okay. So what I'm wondering is if I just, rather than folding this in half, I add a little bit extra. So let's say I take it to there. That looks better. And then how... That should then be theoretically just over 15. Which it is. 15.5. Okay, interesting. Also managed to not quite fold this in half properly, which is only slightly irritating. So let me try and fix that real quick. No, screw it. I don't need to. I don't need to. It's fine. Fine. For this bit, it's fine. So what I think I need to do here is just add an extra little piece in the middle, essentially. Then if that's all I need to do, I don't need to do this again. Alright, let me cook. Because, in theory, all I then need to do is take what I already have and slice it down the middle. And then just stick a piece in there. Awesome. And then, in theory, I just stick a strip in there. So let's say I were to hold this up against here. Again, I keep putting those pegs back and then kneading them. Let me get the little pot of pegs there. Do that. In theory, roughly there, and roughly here, and then I should get some idea as to how much extra I need. It's such a stupidly small amount. Of course it is. Of course it is. That's pain. That is pain. That is such a tiny gap. Right, hang on. And what I might actually do is make it slightly bigger as well. It's like a centimeter. Pretty much bang on a centimeter difference. So what I'm going to do, that's 1, that's 0.5. Okay, right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a 2 centimeter plug for that gap, because I'm getting the feeling that it's going to be safer to make it slightly bigger than to not. Because everything else I'm cool with. So let's make a 2 centimeter strip, apparently. So I'm not going to do this in Sharpie. I'm going to do this in Biro. Make a thinner line. It'll be more accurate, in theory. Then if I also need to tape... Okay, right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. That's then the 2 sims mark. Then if I go that then becomes that. So in theory, yeah, that's then 2 sims. So I know that that's my middle line. That's the bits either side. And then I'm also going to leave an extra centimeter past that to tape it to the template. Okay. Nice. So what I'm actually doing is a 4 centimeter strip. But whatevs. I should really try to make this straight. So here. Let's just do that. Like that. Then make that along there. In theory, that should be straight. And just attempt to carefully rip it along that straight edge. Come on, man, come on. Slack. Give me a break. How big does it need to be anyway? Like here. So if I do it slightly past. That. And whatevs. Don't need it. Don't need it. I also need to consider when I'm going to go and get something to eat. Because breakfast is important. And I've not been very good at eating properly for a while. It's more difficult with work, because I have time factors to consider. But on days off, it's like, I got the time to go and eat sensibly. So I really should. Right. This, I can then stick in here. Yeah, okay. Actually, that gives me that little bit for where the grip should go, which is fine, really. Okay. So that should then be the whole thing. Should be. I can line that up to be... I can line everything up to be straight, basically. That's straight against that. This needs to be straight against this. So I'll deal with this first. That's good enough. Tape. Like that. And same sitch over here. Line that edge up. Get it to be as straight as I possibly can. This is where I get super OCD with it. But also this bit does kind of matter, so... Okay. Let's call it that. Do that. That. Do that. Okay. Good enough. Good enough to get an idea. Right, does that help my case? Oh, yes. Yes, it does. 110% it does. Okay. So that's better. I don't like having this here. It's annoying me. There. Right. That's definitely better. It's still not quite what it is on here, but also I wasn't using this as my reference. I was using something else. But that's better. So what I might then do is just add a teensy bit along the top edge as well. And then I should have kind of sort of an actual thing that I'm working with. How much do I want to add? Because I loved everything about this. When I went to get pictures, everything about this was just epic. So I want to replicate this as closely as I can. Like 0.5 of a centimeter. Does it matter? Does it matter? Do I just remind myself to add 0.5 later? It's a lot of extra faff. I'll just remind myself later. I'll just say plus 0.5 cm. Enough. And that is the middle. Cool. Alright. I have a thing that I'm happier with. That didn't end up working. This I can actually use to make the template for this. If I were to lay this on top. Yeah, okay, alright, so what I can actually do is use this to my advantage. If I add... Let's say I was... do I want to be sensible? Do I want to be myself? So if I'm doing this all without adding seam allowances currently anyway, then really I should keep doing the same. So let's say I were to add... what? Without that. I think that's fair enough. Let's add that onto that. And then the middle point is going to be here. Cool. So, if I then take my blue Sharpie, do this again. Because this is a lot of additional math, but it's required. If I don't get this bit right, then the rest of it is obviously not going to be right. Let's see. Out of interest. That then seems like it's adding a ton extra. It's fine, I don't care. I'll add it and then I can take it away. So it's fine. It matters not to me. Not really. I'm going to try and fold it so that this is on the thing. Let's say I did this first. Right. Then try and take that. Vaguely straight. Alright, not bad. Not bad. Not bad. It's pretty much exact. I don't know how I keep doing this in equal increments by eye. This is ridiculous. Okay, whatever. Whatever, it's fine. Right, that in line with that. And then take it to this line here. Cool. And same with this. That line there. Same with this. And in theory, this will be the one that I can use on the fold. I have to say that's not straight. Do that. And then in theory, that should work down the line. Right. Let's say I were to the trouble is I'm scared it's going to end up making it one of the other lines as well. This is slightly far out from the edge. I use this? No. I don't really want to just cut it. Do it this way. Okay. Nice. Right. In theory, that should then be the actual thing. Really, really hope. Let's try and fold this down. Till I get to that. Let's try that. See what that gives me. Oh, did the camera freeze? No, we're back. Okay, cool. That's fine. Slightly high. Slightly high. It's also not super straight. Okay. Bring that in slightly. Not a whole bunch, but slight. That's better. All right. Those. And then try and get it along that edge, which is going to be interesting. Okay. Right. Got that. And then I'm just, I don't know, ripping it has been the best way, but also, I don't know, can I get away with this? I feel like I won't be able to get away with this. I feel like this is one of those famous last word scenarios. In fairness, there's nothing wrong with getting the guideline in. I should be able to do this. Yeah, this will be fine. The one in that gap is going to probably not be a thing, though. Yeah. Get more difficult as I get further into that point. Just cut the rest of it off, though, that's fine. Main thing is, I got a reasonably straight line out of that. Few fluffy edges. Ain't no thing. Who on my Discord is posting at 20 past 4 in the morning? I'll check later. Who's the most likely insomniac out of all of them? They all go through phases. Alright, good enough. These I don't need currently, but I might do later, who knows. This, I'm just going to cut, really. Theory, that should be substantially bigger than that one, which it is. Okay, I feel better now. I feel better. Now that I've tested everything. Realistically, I can probably fold this from here and then just cut along that line. No. Again, it gives me a guide. Okay. Good enough. Right. I am considerably more okay with that as a thing. Right, I'm going to roll with this. This is the one, this is the thing. This was too small. This gave me an idea of things and stuff. So, none of it's wasted. This, then, is that. That is for future me. You're welcome, future me. Right. So that should then be, I line that up to be straight. Is that straight? Take off a tiny bit along here. Okay. Like that. That crack. If I need to mess around with anything, now is the time to find out. That's pretty fine. It's pretty okay. So I now have a thing. Hooray! That's something. But I can then use this to start planning other stuff. Because all I then need to do is sketch out half of the guard, flip it. Because what side is the side I draw best on? I think it's the right-hand side. Everyone's got a side. Pretty sure mine is the right. So I'll have to see. Actually, yeah, it should be the right, which is super convenient, because this is the side I have anyway. Hell yeah. Cool. Okay. Let's then label this cool. So dare say this is the part where I start cheesing it a bit more. Because what I could do from here is, because there are various patterns and stuff that I want to get on this. And I'm debating whether I do more. I prefer sketching. I prefer sketching stuff. I'll just be using a bunch of references as I go and making it up. Unless... No, I'll make it up. I'll make it up. I'll make it up. And I will draw this out a few times over as I'm making stuff up. So... Realistically, it probably would have been quicker to, like, you know, do the thing properly. But, oh well. Right. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. There's that. Then, good. I can see that from underneath. So, that end, about that, about that. Okay. So that is then what I am practicing with. Yeah, okay. Fine. But I will take a Sharpie over those lines anyway, so that when it comes to actually sketching stuff, it's clear what is sketch and what was original thing. And this bit definitely doesn't need to be accurate. This is like the designing phase. I'd usually do this in my little sketchbook, but the pages are too small. Like, I need more space to block this stuff out. Okay. So now I need to think about what I want on here. So really, what I need to do is go with... kind of need to make a new scene for this so that there's more visibility on what I'm looking at on my reference document versus what I'm actually drawing. So what I might do is... it's also around 4:30, which works out. So what I think I'll do for now is I will stop the stream here. I will go and eat something. Set up the scene so that I've got more visibility on what I'm drawing and then also what I'm referencing, and then come back to it later. I think that's the sensible thing to do. So I'm going to do that. I've been going for a couple hours anyway, but I will come back with more stuff and things. And yeah. Okay, exciting. Exciting stuff. It's a big sword. What could go wrong? Shouldn't be as excited about things going wrong as I am. Okay. Let me call it quits for now, but I'll come back. I'll come back with things and stuff, and yeah. Catch you in a bit.